Hello again, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome to Plane Mechanics Simulator. It is 1940, and we're in merry old England as the Germans have started their invasion of France. The British are going to lend a hand, and it is up to us to make sure that we lend a hand to the Air Force to keep these planes in tip-top shape. Welcome, everybody. We're going to be doing some maintenance on airplanes, including the Mosquito, the Spitfire, and the Tiger Moth, in order to keep everything fully functional. So we'll see lots of different aircraft here, and if you want to see more of this game, make sure you go ahead and click or tap that like button and subscribe if you're new here to see more. It's a lot of fun, by the way. If you like Car Mechanic Simulator, there's a lot of things to do, including, do all sorts of different types of maintenance, wheels, engine parts, propellers, and in this case, we need to replace all worn parts in the engine. So let's get started then by opening up the side of this engine here and see exactly what the problems may be. We're going to go ahead and basically inspect everything and make sure it's fully functioning. So there's an inspection mode. You click on it, everything either turns orange if it's fine, green if it's pristine, or red if it needs to be replaced. We can also repair parts and purchase new parts as needed, but as we've been told, we're just basically going to take everything apart in this plane and see if we can find out where the bad parts are. Could be anything. Could be the oil filter, could be the fuel filter. Who knows? All right, let's go ahead and take a look over here. How are we doing over here? What do we got? Fuel filter, looks like that's fine. Timing gears looks pristine. Right engine cover is good. Carburetor is fine. Air intake's good. We might also need to take a look at the tires too, so we'll see exactly. I think there's a way to take a look at the whole thing. Cylinder heads and whatnot. There's got to be something in here that's wrong. Ooh, these are pristine. That's good. There's got to be something in here that's amiss. Pristine for the covers. Let's take a look at the top of the engine. Let's remove some of this stuff here. I've been doing a lot of refueling of aircraft. I've been doing a lot of putting oil into the planes too, a lot of replacement and that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of fun to do that. All right, let's jump over to the other side and pull off this cover. There we go. And the top engine there. Gonna unbolt that from the top of the plane. The fuel tank, by the way, on this plane is stored at the top, and then it comes down through that hose to the engine. Very interesting method to do that. Let's take a look at some of these parts here. Oil filter, for example. Oh, really? I thought the filter would be broken. The magneto is fine. Pressure filter, that's fine. It's got to be a part inside then. We got to take a look at everything, though, so we might need to remove all these parts here. Let's take a look underneath the engine cover, though.
No, sir.
Oh, we got to go underneath first. All right. Okay, unbolting everything now. All you got to do is hit the ones highlighted in orange. Here is the oil tank. I wonder if we can... Is there a way we can inspect the oil, make sure that's okay? Guess not. All right, there we go. All right, now we can remove this, because this pops out by sliding these two out, and then it has to come down. There it goes. All right, what do we got here, boys? Here we are. Cylinder barrels. We might actually have to look inside of these to take a look at the pistons. Let's check the spark plugs while we're in it. Ah, there we go. We got problems with the spark plugs. Looks like one of them somehow was disconnected. Did I do that? Ah, we got some damaged spark plugs here, so there's our first problem. And on this side, it might be the same. Spark plug here is damaged. The one in the front is okay, and the final two in the back. Okay, alright, so we know we've got some damaged spark plugs then, so let's take a look at those. So we'll remove some ignition wires, so that way we can unplug these. I think what we might do, let's see.
No. No.
Yes, yes! Guy telling me no. But my body's telling me yeah. Alright, so it looks like we've got 3 that need to be replaced. So this one too.
No.
And where was the other one? Here. Remove the ignition wires there. There we go. And please remove that spark plug. Okay. So now I think we've got everything that we needed to remove spark plug wise, but I doubt that's got to be the only problem. So let's see. Replace all worn parts in the engine. So I don't think we can repair those. We're just going to have to purchase those. So let's go do that now. Head over to this little truck here. It's an old British, I think this is a Bradford or something. Ooh, whoa, I did not see that before. Hello. Okay, let's go to the back of the truck, purchase 2 new spark plugs. I'm going to sign my name, so don't look. I don't want anyone knowing my real name. And then we're going to put these parts back into the plane. Okay, now there could be other problems too, so maybe we should look a little deeper than this. I have a feeling that underneath the plane there might be a bigger problem than just that. So we could also pull out the cylinder block assembly. So let's give that a shot and take a look at the piston rings and the pistons that are underneath there. And we can pull out the whole engine assembly in one piece, which makes it way easier to take out a cylinder block than it does to take these pieces out one by one in order to do that. Yeah, right. It's almost like we have an assistant. You're helping me out here today as we're removing these parts. There we go. Feels like I've got an assistant who's doing all the unbolting while I'm doing this myself. Now again, if you make a mistake of not tightening a bolt or putting a part back into the plane, you could also be penalized for that. And the game kind of has a weird penalization system. Like for example, if you're screwing in bolts and then you click complete, even if they're not screwed in all the way, you technically didn't complete it, even though you're just waiting for the game to complete the animation. But it's all good. It's a game, and that's what makes it fun. Alright, all those exhaust pipes being taken out on the other side. And I think also the ignition will come out here. There it goes. The inductor coil, or whatever it is. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we can take a look at these pistons now. We're going to take a look and see if the pistons are worn. And we also need to take a look at 3 different piston rings, which really are hard to see. You gotta be like, you gotta have your face like right up in there. So we'll take a look at 3 more pistons and the rings. I'm Lord of the Piston Rings here today. Another piston, good. Oh, that one's actually pristine, very good. Okay, looking good, and on to the last one. Let's see if we can get a closer look at this one here. Oh, another fine piston. Really, all piston rings are fine, huh? Okay. I wonder if the interior of the propeller has anything to do with this. I don't know. Maybe we should open the cover just to see. Top engine cover. According to the game, replace all worn out parts in the engine. Seems like there could still be worn out parts somewhere. Oh wait, did I miss one of these rings? No, they're all... It seems like I got most of them, or at least all of them. Alright, I'm a little wary.
No.
Oh, that's right, we gotta take this off. I'm a little suspicious that there might be another problem inside the top of the assembly, so let's remove the propeller. No. There we go. No, no! It'd be kind of cool if you could work on German planes, big American bombers, Russian planes. It'd be nice if in the future they just let you put whatever planes you want here. But again, for now, it's just 3 fully detailed planes, which is pretty impressive. Oh, here we go. We got a little trouble here. Oh, this is okay? That looks a little damaged to me. I guess it's just dirty. Okay. I thought that was our problem. Alright, then let's take a look at the crankshaft. That seems fine. Front plate is fine. So I guess maybe it could just be the spark plugs. Alright, in order to save time, let's go ahead and we're going to replace the cylinder blocks. And another problem too, by the way, is I've noticed in order to replace some of these parts, they don't necessarily always highlight what needs to be replaced. As you remember, when we removed the cylinder block, it indicated many different parts that needed to be disconnected, different bolts and such from the other side, so we just need to make sure that we get them all when we replace. Alright, did we check the fuel filter, right, magneto? Fuel filter's fine. Doesn't look like the fuel line can be checked. Timing gears unit. Oh, I thought that was that pipe there. I was like, that's a suspicious looking timing gear unit. Alright, let's put these spark plugs back now after we put the induction wire, or ignition wires in there. Okay. So the spark plug needs to go back on. Oh, we have to put the spark plug first? There we go. Okay, ignition wires are good. Let's put them back onto the spark plugs. Seems like the wires come into this steel assembly to protect them. There we are. Let's do the other side too. Alright, let's see if that did it. Oh, can't see. Can't see. I can't see. Oh, looks like we gotta get out from under the plane. Okay, so it looks like there's more parts to be replaced. It will let you sign it. once those are placed in there, but there's got to be something more. Could it be the top engine cover or the assembly itself? Let's go ahead and remove rocker covers here and see if there's anything underneath. Could it be any of this stuff, the cylinder head and such? Rocker mechanism's good. Oh. Alright, let's try this rocker cover. These all look good. Wonder where the real problem could be. And I'm hoping it's not like a wheel or something like that. I hope they don't throw a curveball, and even though it says engine specifically, that we're doing an engine tune-up, that one of the wheels is flat, and it's like, oh, yep, you missed the flat tire. It's like, hey, don't throw me a curveball. I'm not that smart. Okay, on to the next one. Well, we've pretty much seen all of the plane parts within a few minutes. There's more inside, of course, than just this. But I don't know if we have to look at all that stuff. Let's remove this, though. The front aircraft oh, God. Oh, look at how many screws and bolts are on the top of this thing. Oh, boy. All right, well, let's go ahead and pull it off.
No.
No? Oh, I think we should.
No.
No, I think we really should.
No, sir.
I think we should.
No.
Yes.
No.
All right, let's do it. Alright, the crankshaft cover has to go off, and then we can pull off the top engine cover. That is a big engine, man. Alright, those all have to come out in order to detach it from the top of the aircraft. So while we're waiting for the 6-month delivery of that, let's replace some parts down here. Get the induction pipe back on, as well as some of the spark plug wires. And they'll be put on there in just a second. We'll put the induction pipe down there, bolt that back on. There we go. And then I think we can put the bottom cover back on too. Oh, first the engine cover has to go back on. And then, once that's back on, we should be able to put the bottom of the aircraft back on. Alright, still waiting for all these parts to be detached. Let's take a look around the plane while it's still doing this weird... You can still hear the bolts being taken out. So this is a biplane used by the Brits in the start of the war. Typical recon aircraft. It could also be equipped with minor weaponry, machine guns and such, though these are primarily used for kind of transportation of light objects, you know, mail, that type of thing, letters, signal, whatnot. And then, of course, also possibly planes like this were used for torpedoes. Maybe not this specific one, but the British were very successful in using torpedo bombers at the start of the Second World War, and even were able to sink a very large and historical German battleship known as the Bismarck by utilizing these in conjunction with other methods, and so they're really not to be discounted that way. But the map itself is very beautiful too, by the way. I think you can walk around a little bit. You can't really go out of this area, but it is nice to be able to walk around and take a look at the map while you're, you know, kind of working on stuff. And it's always a sunny, clear day, so there's always lots to see. Alright, looks like the rest of those parts have been attached. Alright, good. All the stuff at the bottom is back. Alright, let's take a look here at the crankshaft is good. All the piston rods look good. Everything looks good. Can't actually look at the engine block itself, but I wonder if this means that we're just supposed to inspect every part, because that's kind of what it says in the thing. We found that the spark plugs were not good, so we replaced those. Crankshaft bearings are all fine. Crankshaft itself is fine. No way to look at... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, the right induction wires are damaged. Huh. I didn't see that before because we didn't technically inspect that. Oh, yeah, it does look a little damaged. Okay, let's go fix that too. I'm glad we got to see the interior of this plane, because this will probably be my last time doing any maintenance on it. So let's try our little maintenance. It's almost like a mini game over here when you go to do this. There it goes. Oh, okay, there's nothing for us to repair. That is a very difficult thing to do. It'll be like a little bar that goes up and down, and it is very hard to hit it in the green. And if you don't do it right, then you kind of have to go back to start. Alright, we got our part now. And that's the right induction wire. Hopefully that's all we needed. I wonder if the exhaust pipe needs repair. Okay, that's good. And then we need the exhaust pipe back on there. I guess we can take a look at that while we... Oh, that looked fine. The cool thing is once you take parts off too, I guess it automatically inspects it as well, because you'd be taking it off and looking at it, and you can look at it when it's down. But it's cool that we were able to see all this stuff. Let's take a look. Sign here to complete the assignment. We haven't yet replaced it. It's not technically on yet. Alright, so the... Oh, wait a minute. Wait, what? Another spark plug's damaged? What? I thought we...
No. No.
Oh, we have to... Oh, please. You have to remove this, and that spark plug, you could pull that off and unscrew that. You could definitely do that. Alright, so it looks like I guess we missed a spark plug, even though I thought I looked at it. But that's okay. At least we get the whole... to see the whole engine. I like that. I don't think you can take out the cylinder blocks, though.
No. No!
Alright. Let's take a look there. One more spark plug then, and I think we're good. So it was really just a problem with the ignition system. One more spark plug. Actually, wait a minute. Didn't I see 3? I did see 3. I only took out 2 then. I must have thought I clicked it, and then I didn't. That's why I thought it was good to go. Yeah, it's all good. That's what the whole checklist is for, to make sure everything's done. Alright, let's pop that back on. Okay, it's still not saying everything's replaced, but I think we've inspected everything that we can. Oh, piston rods here. There we go, all those are fine. Pristine, fine. Okay, we've taken a look at all of the stuff on the top. So let's go ahead and replace our top engine cover. Oh, which that looks okay too. Alright, look at all these bolts. Jeez. Alright. And I think we might need to actually give it oil too. Maybe. Alright, well, while we wait for the 6 months for that thing to repair itself, let's take a look at all the other parts we can. It's cool that you can hear airplanes flying around. It is an airfield, so there would be lots of that. I think we've taken a look at everything that we can. We can't actually look at the bottom section of the engine block. That doesn't seem to be something that's repairable. So you can't, like, pull an entire engine out, put it on a crane, and do maintenance like over here. You have to do it while it's inside the aircraft. Which makes sense, because we're really just doing basic maintenance. We're not really doing any sort of, like, we're not rebuilding a plane here. Alright, let's replace some of these nuts now. Yeah, you gotta put the bolt in, bolt that down, then you gotta put the nut on the other side. Let's replace the front engine plate. That looks fine, too. All these parts are technically a part of the engine. Even the propeller. According with the game. I've gotten mission objectives before where it'll say, like, you know, inspect the engine, and you'll have to, like, look at something underneath the propeller. And you have to remove the propeller anyway to get to the top section. Okay, let's replace the engine cover. And let's replace the top cowling. Okay, and then one more thing to do on this side, which it doesn't seem to let me... Oh, there it goes. Front engine cover and then the other side. Alright, those should slide in and that'll be replaced. Alright, let's take a look now. Place all worn parts in the engine. So the only other things to replace then are underneath the... Actually, they're being screwed on now. Jeez, there's 3 million bolts in this game. Alright, that'll go on there. Alright, once we've put everything back in there, we should be able to sign it, and that should be GG. Alright, let's move on to a different aircraft, shall we? Let's see if we can see the Spitfire or the Mosquito. I'm just going to reassemble everything here, and then we'll get the ability to sign and complete. So, alright, this job's pretty much done. I'll put everything together. Let's move on to the next plane. Alright, the engine replacement on the last plane went really well. We were able to find all the trouble with the spark plugs and the induction wires and whatnot, or I mean the ignition wires. But now we're going to do a little refueling and repair of parts underneath this plane. So let's go ahead and get ready to do a little bit of maintenance here and a little routine checkup. We'll go ahead and get the fuel done here in a second. But I have noticed that the wheels and the undercarriage there need replacement, as well as the end of the tail. So we're going to grab ourselves the jack, which is around here somewhere, and then we're going to pick up the plane. It looks like they're both over here. So we're going to pick up the plane and do maintenance on the tail skid, which is literally, this plane doesn't have a tire. It literally just has like a kickstand that drags on the ground. So that needs to be replaced, and also we need to raise up the plane and replace the wheels too. So let's get that started. The jack is kind of fun to use because when you put it under like that, you actually have to use your mouse to crank it up like that. And then once it makes contact with the airplane, you got to kind of like go a little wider. So it's kind of a neat little thing. All right, that looks good to go. Let's go ahead and replace this section here. We're going to need to take off the suspension thing here, the suspension leg, so we have to remove the wheel in order to do that. Yes, we do. Yes, we do, sir. All right. A couple of bolts from the tire being taken off then. I wish there were upgrades in this game. You do get points and score in the game, but it doesn't seem like there's a way to actually buy different equipment or upgrades or customize your plane. So you do get XP in the game, but it doesn't seem like you can actually spend it or do anything with it, so I don't know what the point of, like, you know, you can do really well in a mission or really bad in a mission, but what's the point if you can't, like, use that experience for other things? Alright, on to the next thing. Okay, other than that, it's a really good game. Again, good graphics. I like the graphics and the fact that you can do maintenance out here. Would be nice, too, by the way, if we could do maintenance inside of a hangar. Different types of hangars and things like that. I haven't yet seen if there's other locations, but I'm assuming it all takes place out here on the, basically next to the runway. Alright, that looks good, so the wheels are done. We'll do the replacement of that next. I'm going to lay down here and take off the tail skid, which has really got a lot of bolts, by the way. This thing's, like, that's 4 in the back, plus 2 more on the top, and then another, like, 4 on the back of the rudder. Okay. Wait for that thing to be removed. I like how you can move around, though, while you're waiting for the unbolting to be done. And again, these are large walls here to protect the aircraft from bombs. In other words, if the Germans were to bomb us right now, they'd have to score a direct hit on that plane in order to damage it. If they dropped a bomb over there, this wall here would absorb the damage and would leave the plane relatively undamaged. Okay, let's see if we can do some repairs. I don't think so, but we'll try. Sometimes you just have to replace a part. You can't really do maintenance on it. Alright, looks like we cannot restore any parts, so we're just going to buy them then. And then we'll start the refueling process. So let's see, tail skid, wheel, and right compression leg need to be replaced. Very good. And let's go ahead and put those back on. So we've seen the engine, we've seen the wheels, we've seen the oil and fuel tanks and such. We haven't seen the refueling process yet, but that's going to be cool. I want to do that on the Spitfire. And the Mosquito, by the way, if you're unaware, is like, I think it was actually entirely made of wood, or it was one of the lightest weight to size ratio aircraft used for light bombing and recon, I think. The Mosquito is a really cool aircraft. And it's a twin engine aircraft with some very large wings, so it's really cool. Okay, I think that is it for the wheels. Let's go for the tail skid now. And then you don't have to, but you can leave this thing on the jacks. You don't have to take it off. So we're waiting for this to be done. Oh, good, task complete. Excellent. Yeah, I got the task complete too. When we finished the engine maintenance, as I put some of the last parts on, I got the task complete there too. So that was good. All right, let's grab the fuel tank here. So let's go up the ladder, and we're going to take off the cap. All right. Jump back down, grab ourselves the hose. Back up the ladder again. Pop the hose in the top of the fuel tank. I'm hoping that this aircraft is the last one that I got to get up on a ladder to do. I hope the Spitfire isn't as needy. All right, there's the fuel there. You can see in the wing. Oh, there we go. And the refueling process is done. Okay, so once we detach the truck from the fuel line, we should be good. Come on there. It's a little difficult to select sometimes whether you want to get up the ladder or down. Yeah, alright, all done. Alright, thanks, Jeremy. Take off now. There he goes. He's a good guy. Alright, and that's pretty much done. So then we can take all these parts, you know, the jack and stuff, and take all that and put it back, or we can just finish here. So, oh, I guess I guess I do have to take them down. All right, fair enough. All right, I'll finish up here. We'll move on to the next thing. Here we go.